All right, Shalom. This is Canucks and Anban Yashar Allah from the GMS Lions in Camp. First and foremost, I'd like to give all glory and praise to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Ha, Rakakudash, Ma'amah. Double honors to the elder apostles, great millstone, and salutations to the Akim that are pushing this truth and sincerity and truth throughout the four corners of the earth. And peace and blessing to the men, women, and children that believe in the name of Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai. Lesson topic that I want to get into today is dreadlocks. And how it's not a custom of the children of Israel. These other nations had customs like these. Mainly, from what I could read, the origins of it was from Hinduism, from India. They have the latest or the earliest proof of anybody having this type of hairstyle, but basically it's a custom that's mainly worn by the children of Israel, but it's not a custom of Israel. All right. And most of our people are confused about who they are anyway, so they take certain customs from different other nations, which we're not supposed to do. All right, so I'm not gonna make it that long. Lord willing, it's it serves its purpose and it's edifying. So I'm just getting right to it. It says so dreadlocks, also locks, dreads, or in Sanskrit jata, are rope-like strands of hair formed by matting or braiding hair. All right, so you got a lot of people, what they'll do, how they'll start their dreads off with box braids and then just won't take the braids out and let them mat up together, and that's how they start their dreadlocks, and then twist it from there. All right. It says dreadlocks can also be formed through a technique called twist and rip, and as well as back combing and rolling, while leaving hair to do its own devices, foregoing brushing, combining, or cutting the hair, also known as the neglect technique, and free forming. All right. So, I mean, anything that you deal with has to be pruned. You can't just neglect anything when it's coming to dealing with the temple of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. It has to have some type of order, process. All right. Some type of upkeep. All right. It says will generally result in tangles and mats. The formation of evenly sized dreads takes planning and maintenance. All right. So let's go to the origins of it. It says the ancient Vedic scriptures of India, which are thousands of years old, have the earliest evidence of jata locks, which are almost exclusively worn by holy men and women. It has been part of a religious practice for Shiva followers. And if you know the origins of Rastafarianism, people always try to throw Samson in the mix in the Nazarene vow, but we're gonna get to that in the book of Numbers. Speaking on the Nazarene vow, because you have these individuals that want to talk about Samson and Judah and all this other kind of stuff, but they'll have a Guinness or a Heineken in their hand, smoking you know what I'm saying? So it's like, you're not supposed to be partaking of any other. You want to claim the Nazarene vow, you have to uphold the whole Nazarene vow, because if you break any one of the Nazarene laws, you have to shave your head. All right. It says, but the point of the matter is, it says it has been part of a religious practice for Shiva followers, and one of the main Shiva followers was Haile Selassie. He was a Hinduism. He was a Hindu, as a matter of fact. He wasn't even Ethiopian. All right. So he practices those customs, and that's what Rastafarian comes from, Hinduism. Okay. Some of the earliest predictions of dreadlocks date back as far as 3,600 years to the Minoan civilization, one of Europe's earliest civilizations centered in Crete, now part of Greece. Forcesios delivered on the Aegean island of Thera, modern Santorini, Greece, depict individuals with braided hair styled in long dreadlocks. All right. So you got all these different time periods and different nations that partake in this in this in this tradition, but it was a tradition of man. This didn't come from the Most High, man. It was not our custom to wear dreadlocks. All right, we wore braids, like you can see on the pyramids. Um, Pictures of the Israelites being taken in captivity with braids, cornrows in their head, with braids in their head. It wasn't. It wasn't. It wasn't dreadlocks. All right. It says this. It says by culture. You know, you have Africa, you have Australia, Hinduism, Buddhism, but the main one is Hinduism. This is the one that makes it famous. This is what our people follow up the Benjamin, Judah and Benjamin follow out the customs of the Hindus, man. Dyehead Indians, which I think is Elam. All right. It says it says Hindu Vedic scriptures provide the earliest known evidence of dreadlocks. These scriptures are over 10,000 years old. Locks are worn by an Indian, worn in India by sadhus or holy men. The Nagas are ascetics and followers of the god Shiva, which is really not a god. They wear their jata locks above their head and let them down only for special occasions and rituals. Jata means twisted locks of hair. Indian holy men and women regard locks as sacred, considered to be a religious practice and expression of their disregard of vanity. All right. But that's only from a physical sense, because the Most High teaches you how to do things from a spiritual sense. All right. So this is, and it got custom of Buddhism and the Rastafarianism. It says, all right, I'll read this one. It says, Rastafari movement locks are symbolic of the Lion of Judah, which is sometimes created centered on the Ethiopian flag. All right. And we all know Yahweh Shai is the Lion of Judah, not Selassie. All right, Yahweh Shai is the direct descendant of King David through Solomon, through the seed. You can't be a lineage of somebody through the mother. And Queen of Sheba and Solomon didn't have sex anyway. All right, it says, and the Queen of it says Rastafari hold that Haile Selassie is a direct descendant of King Solomon and the Queen of Sheba. Not true. It says through their son Menelik the First, their dreadlocks were inspired by the Nazarenes of the Bible. So we're going to get into that real quick. What is the Nazarene? All right. First of all, we're going to start with this, because it is a sin for a man to have long hair, period, point blank. All right? And let me get that real quick. This is 1 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 14. It says, "Doeth not even nature itself teach you that if a man have long hair, it is a shame unto him? But if women have long hair, it is glory to her, for her hair is given her for a covering." All right. But if any man seem to be contentious, we have no such custom, neither the churches of Yahweh. So if you want to try to be contentious, let's get that word. Contentious, meaning it says found of strife, contentious, in a good sense, emulous, a quarrel. So if you want to be contentious against this, like Paul would just say, hey, you can be, but there's no customs. We have no customs like that. The Most High has no customs like that. All right? So it's like he was telling them back then, like, why are you wearing your hair like this, man? This is not our customs. These are the customs of the heathen. As a matter of fact, Jeremiah 10:1, it says, "Hear ye the words which the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushai speaketh unto you, O house of Israel. Thus saith the Lord, learn not the ways of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, because that's where it comes from. All this Kali worship and Shiva worship, that comes from worshiping planets and stuff, stars and stuff like that. Idol worship. It says, thus saith the Lord, learn not the ways of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them. All right? The custom of the, you know what I'm saying? The custom of these people are vain. All right? We're not supposed to have anything to do with their custom. So Paul was just basically saying, yo, if you want to be contentious with this, just let it be known that it's not of God. It's not of Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai. All right, so let's get into um the Nazarene. This is um Numbers chapter 6. All right. This is Numbers chapter 6, verse 21. It says, this is the law of the Nazarite who hath vowed, and of his offering unto the Lord Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai, for his separation, beside that is his hand shall get. So basically, when you become a Nazarene, your whole life is devoted to Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai. You're a high priest, you're set apart. That's all you do, day in and day out, the works and the will of Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai. You're a gift unto Yahweh Shai. Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai. You don't have no other duties. That's it. Kind of like a Levite. All right. It says, hold on. Let me go up further. All right. Let me start it. I should have went up. Let me go. Started 13. Shalak. It says, and this is the law of the Nazarite. When the day of his separation are fulfilled, he shall be brought unto the door of the tabernacle of the congregation, and he shall offer his offering unto the Lord, one he ram of the first year without blemish for a burnt offering, and one ewe lamb of the first year without blemish for a sin offering, and one ram without blemish for a peace offering, and a basket of unleavened bread, cakes of fine flour mingled with oil, and wafers of unleavened bread anointed with oil, and their meat offering and their drink offerings. And the priest shall bring them before the Lord Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai, and shall offer his sin offering and his burnt offering. And he shall offer the ram for a sacrifice of peace offering unto the Lord with a basket of unleavened bread. The priest shall offer also his meat offering and his drink offering. And the Nazarite shall shave his head of his separation at the door of the tabernacle of the congregation, and shall take the hair of his head of his separation and put it in the fire which is under the sacrifice of the peace offering. All right. And it says, and the priest shall take the sodden shoulder of the ram and one of the unleavened cakes of the basket and one of the unleavened wafers, and put them upon the hands of the Nazarite after his hair. All right. After his separation is shaven, and the priest shall wave them a wave offering before the Lord. This is holy for the priest. All right. So this is all the things you have to go through and enter into the Nazarene vow. All right. It says, with the wave breast and heave shoulder, and after that the Nazarene may drink wine. All right. So boom. So with that being said, it sounds like to me you have to do that in order to because you still have to celebrate the Passover. And so you have to break that Nazarene vow when you're celebrating the Passover. So all these people that are claiming the Nazarene vow, they're supposed to shave their head once a year during the time of the Passover, all right, in order so they can drink the wine, because we have to partake in the Passover. All right, it says, all right, so once a year you have to shave your head in order to be able to and those are the things you have to go through. Of course, the sacrifice part is over. We don't do the sacrificing anymore. But at the end of the day, you have to shave your head before you can drink the wine. All right, do your separation. So let's go up to the top and see what it takes in order to be a Nazarene. All right, This is Numbers 6:1. It says, "And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, Whether a man or woman shall separate themselves to vow a vow of a Nazarite, to separate themselves unto the Lord." All right, meaning that's what you do. That's what your whole life is about. All right, you don't have a job. Your job is just to do whatever the will of you. I mean, just basically, yeah, separate yourself from everything else and just be unto the Lord. All right, he shall separate himself from wine and strong drink. So you have these Rastafarian that love their Guinness. And, well, you have some that don't drink at all. I got to be fair. You have some that don't drink. I know Rastafarians that don't drink anything at all. I know Rastafarians that don't smoke weed, but it has become a custom to, what I'm saying. You have a lot of West Indians that like to drink Guinness, Heineken, Carib, rum, certain things like that. But they're not supposed to really be drinking. They can't drink grape juice or none of that stuff. It says, this is on Numbers 6:3. It says, "He shall separate himself from wine and strong drink, and shall drink no vinegar of wine or vinegar of strong drink. Neither shall he drink the liquor of grapes, nor eat moist grapes, nor dry." So you can't eat grapes, raisins, or nothing like that. All right. "All the days of his separation shall be he eat nothing that is made of the vine tree, from the kernels even unto the husk." All right. So that's it. So you can't have grapes, raisins, none of that stuff. All right. So if you want to claim a Nazarene vow, that's cool, but you have to become a straight Nazarene, meaning you can't even have a job. When you wake up, you in the scriptures doing the will of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. When you go to sleep, that's what you're doing. That's just it. That is your job. All right. Let me get and the last scripture I want to get is Judges. I actually got Judges 16 and 17. And I remember the elder of our camp brought this out years ago, saying that when we have locks, it means braids. All right. And I'm gonna get it real quick. It says this is Judges 16 and 17. This is dealing with Samson and Delilah. Her name is Delilah, but I like to call her Delilah because she's a liar, just like a lot of these women out here. But anyway, it says Judges 16 and 17. It says it started 16. It says, "And it came to pass when she pressed him daily with her words, he and urged him that his soul was vexed unto death, that he told her all his heart, and said unto her that there hath not come a razor upon my head, for I have been a Nazarite unto Yahweh from my mother's womb. If I be shaven, then my strength will go from me, and I shall become weak and be like any other man." All right. It says, "And when Delilah saw that he had told her all his heart, she sent and called for the lords of the Philistines, saying, Come up this once, for he hath showed me all his heart." That's why our scriptures say, "Give not thy strength unto a woman, and that destroyed king." What is that? Your heart, your mind. All right. It says, "Then the lords of the Philistines came up unto her and brought money in their hand." All right. "And she made him sleep upon her knees, and she called for a man, and she caused him to shave off the 7 locks of his head." All right. Let's get that word locks right there. Locks, strong 42:53. In the Hebrew, it means braid, lock, plait of hair. All right, a ringing of hair as gliding each over each other. That's a braid. When you put your hand over your hand like that, that is a braid. You sit there and watch women braid hair, they're gliding the hair over each other. That's the locks. That's how you lock the hair up. It's talking about braids, man. So it doesn't get any clearer than that. All right. If you want to take a Nazarene vow, you have to do it the right way. You can't call out a Nazarene vow just to live a custom of men. And the Nazarene vow has nothing to do with dreadlocks. And with that being said, I want to give all glory and praise to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Ha, Rekakodash, Ma'amath. Double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone. And salutations to the Akim that are pushing this truth and sincerity and truth throughout the four corners of the earth. And peace and blessing to the men, women, and children that believe in the name of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. All right? Shalom.